Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a local community continues to grieve after a suspected murder last week, and family members of the victim want their demands answered. And a fallen Eastern Kentucky deputy is being remembered with a blood drive honoring the ultimate sacrifice he gave in Floyd County last year.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6:32 on June 30th. Now let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Brandon, if people are waking up, some people have woken up to some of that thunder and lightning outside, but really doesn't seem to be posing a severe threat right now. But we do have that chance throughout the weekend.
Exactly. So we're going to keep a close eye on it for you. But again, you and I have been struggling this morning.
Yeah.
I can imagine everybody else. Friday, rain. Again, just be careful out there this morning if you're getting ready to hit the road or the next little bit. I'll get the words in the right order here in a second. Let's go to the satellite radar loop to show you what's been going on for the last few hours. We continue to see the possibility for some showers out there this morning. There could be some heavier bands of rain. We have a couple flood advisories out. New one actually looks like for Bell, Knox, Laurel, McCreary, Pulaski, Rockcastle, Whitley till 9 o'clock. So some high water issues being reported in some counties. So again, the further west you are, be careful out there because you're going to see some of that heavy rain falling now. The London-Corbin Airport, kind of the interesting exception. Not sure what's going on with our cameras. Maybe Buffalo Mountain a little fogged in up there this morning, but London-Corbin Airport looks decent out there this morning. Maybe the haze trying to clear just a little bit, but again, lots of rain coming into play. There's some fog as well this morning. Day planner, well, it's going to be back and forth all throughout the day. If the haze, the smoke leaves, that could open us up for some warmer temperatures, which could help fuel storms this afternoon. I'll have more on that in a little bit. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. People in Floyd County gathered in Prestonsburg yesterday demanding change after Amber Spradlin was killed in the Martin community last week. Her loved ones say they are patiently waiting for the right person to be held accountable. Telling WYMT's Buddy Forbes they want to know why no one answered the final call for someone who was a friend to all.
There's a monster out there.
Amen.
And people who know things about this and they don't want to tell, well, they're a monster too.
News of Amber Spradlin's death was a call her family never expected.
It was just unbelievable. I could not imagine anything like that. I mean, why? Why would somebody do that?
And they believe it was a call that could have been avoided had someone only answered hers.
If our 911 system has failed her, then at least it's too late for her, but at least it might help another family. And that's why this is so important. You know, I wouldn't wish this on anybody to have to go through.
The family and their attorneys hosted a news conference outside of the Floyd County Courthouse Thursday, updating supporters on the murder investigation and begging for a separate investigation to begin.
I just don't know what in the world would have gone so wrong to result in what happened. But there was a 911 call and no one went.
Saying they believe Amber called 911 and never got a response, which they credit to the transition of dispatch services from Kentucky State Police to the city of Prestonsburg.
I will not rest until the 911 center is put back at the Kentucky State Police Post. I don't care if, I mean it very seriously.
The police department released a statement Wednesday saying there was no call from Spradlin that night, but the family says they will keep calling for change.
We want Amber's killers, her murderers, to get what they deserve.
They say their support is with the police investigating.
There's a lot of detail that we've not been privy to, but we're okay with that because we know that things are so important to this investigation that they need to stay with the police for right now.
But their concerns remain on the phone calls in question, leaving the community to question whether they are safe.
We're out of the city limits. Are we going to get help?
Or if Spradlin's story will be one in a series. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The family says they do not believe there is a cover-up in the community, just a lengthy investigation to ensure the murderer is caught. They say their biggest complaint now is fixing the dispatch failures before the line goes dead on someone else. Candy Green Gonzalez remains were identified after around 2 years of searching for her. Gonzalez was last seen on June 1st of 2021 in Floyd County. Her cousin Jennifer Klein says the past 2 years have been difficult.
That after like the 5th day, I knew, that wasn't like her. She would have contacted her mom, and just knowing that her mom heard the voicemail, and for her not to contact Betty back as soon as she came to a phone is what really worried me.
The family is now planning a funeral service for Candy. The Eastern Kentucky chapter of the American Red Cross hosted a blood drive at the Mountain Arts Center yesterday to remember a man who gave his all to protect his community. Floyd County Sheriff's Deputy William Petrie was one of 3 officers and a canine killed in the line of duty during an ambush at Allen 1 year ago today. Deputy Petrie's son Chase says his dad donated blood regularly, and this event was the perfect way to remember him. He added that this year has been hard for him and his family, and he cannot believe it has already been a year.
At times it's felt like it's flown by, and it's crazy that it's already been a year, but it's also felt like it's been 5 or 6 years. It feels like it's been forever since I've seen him. It's obviously been tough for us.
Red Cross officials say 47 units of blood were received yesterday, and around 150 lives will be saved because of the drive. The 2021 Kentucky overdose fatality report shows nearly 73% of overdose deaths involved fentanyl in some way. Mike St. John says these deaths could be prevented if people had a way to test drugs for fentanyl. He adds the new law decriminalizing fentanyl testing strips is not an enabler, but it gives another chance for addicts seeking recovery.
We have Narcan and we will have fentanyl testing strips because we can't stop people from bringing drugs in our house. We can't. But we have to provide some safety net.
Several other bills took effect yesterday, including Senate Bill 9, which makes hazing a crime. Senate Bill 268 will let judges order people convicted in deadly DUI crashes to pay child support for victims' children. Governor Andy Beshear announced yesterday that $74 million is going to coal-producing communities. This is the highest amount awarded from coal servants' tax funds in 10 years and nearly doubles the amount distributed last year. The funding is going to 29 different counties across the Commonwealth. Perry County is being awarded $3.8 million this year.
We've always used it since I've been here for economic development, for tourism, for quality of life, for infrastructure. We've created a lot of jobs in the industrial park. We've helped local companies grow as well.
Alexander says Perry County will be using this year's severance funds for more quality of life improvements in the county. Yesterday, U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg was in Breathitt County. He was highlighting the recent announcement of more than $21 million headed to the Panbowl Lake Corridor project. Buttigieg says he wanted to see the area for himself, saying there is a huge need for infrastructure projects across the country, and Breathitt County is one of 162 projects to receive a grant thanks to the new bipartisan infrastructure law.
So a lot of Republicans were willing to cross over, work with Democrats to get this done because the need is so great. And when you're standing here, you're looking at these homes and businesses that were impacted by those floods. You see why a road is more than just a road. Getting 15 into better shape and doing the work on the dam and getting those sidewalks and cycle paths here, that could transform the future of a community like Jackson. And that's exactly why we fought so hard for this transportation package in the first place.
The RAISE grant is the largest of 4 awarded to Kentucky and the only project located in Kentucky's 5th congressional district. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet applied for the grant funds. A new business for whiskey enthusiasts is coming to Rowan County. A new distillery project in Moorhead is set to bring 50 new jobs to the area. Eastern Light Distilling received a $2 million in state economic development tax incentives to create a new venue. The company plans to invest upwards of $200 million in Rowan County during the course of 15 years. The project is still in the planning stages. More developments will be announced in the coming months.
.642, several messages coming in about if there's any severe weather right now. No, the answer is no on that. Heavy rain, some lightning and thunder, but no active warnings, no severe weather. Just be weather aware as you head through the daytime hours today, and we're tracking it all on live pinpoint Doppler radar. It looks mean, basically from Lexington all the way down through the state border, just some pockets of rain to the east. But again, no severe warnings out there this morning. But if we get sunshine later today and that fuels up the atmosphere, we could see some storms a little bit later on. Visibility is rough out there this morning. Fog has set in, maybe just a little bit of haze left over in some spots as well. Overcast skies for some. As we head out to Lake Cumberland, you can see some of that fog really thick and dense out there this morning in Pulaski County, so just be aware of that. Out the door forecast, we are going to see temperatures climb at least into the upper 80s. If the smoke is gone, maybe for good, well, not for good, for now, let's put it that way. We could see those temperatures get past 90 a little bit later today. Olivia?
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining us. The time is 6:43. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. A cure for hepatitis C exists, but for many Americans, the price is out of reach.